Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tyler and I just do consistent content on all things related to hockey and the NHL overall. And yes, the Carolina Hurricanes swept the New York Rangers in that best-of-5 series in only 3 games. So that's what we'll be discussing today. I'll be summarizing that series, my thoughts on the series, not just as a Rangers fan, but as a hockey fan, because obviously I am upset, but I understand why the Rangers lost. And of course, what is next for these two teams, both Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you like this kind of hockey content. Trust me when I say this is only the beginning of a lot of amazing and great things happening on this channel, so you won't regret it. And we're so close to 300 subscribers, so any level would really be appreciated. But with that being said, let's get right into this video. Look, going into this series, I fully expected the Rangers to honestly win in 5 games. And that's not what happened. But look, I've been predicting this for a while now, between the Carolina Hurricanes being one of the 2 teams along with the Tampa Bay Lightning, of course, not wanting to get involved in this qualifying round, and the Hurricanes even saying that they were at a disadvantage playing against a team like the New York Rangers who had the upper hand during the season. Even though while the Rangers did sweep them in the regular season, the Hurricanes did dominate half those games. And the only reason why the Rangers got away scot-free is because Henrik Lundqvist bailed them out. And for whatever reason, he has just been the Carolina Hurricanes' kryptonite throughout the entirety of his career. So between that, the Rangers having a good track record, and of course, the Hurricanes openly saying they didn't want to play them, and also adding in the fact that they weren't having Dougie Hamilton, who was on a Norris caliber pace, one of the better defensemen in the NHL, and Brett Pesce, who's already a top 10 defenseman in the NHL, in my opinion, when it comes to stay-at-home defensemen, if I got to clarify that. I think those all factored in the Rangers feeling a little cocky, feeling they had an upper hand, and that just wasn't happening in the series. From the beginning of Game 1, the Carolina Hurricanes were just 3 steps, if not more, ahead of this New York Rangers team every which way. Their offense was clicking, unlike the Rangers. Their defense was clicking, especially unlike the Rangers, and they were just doing everything that the Rangers were really trying to make sure it didn't happen. They couldn't provide any offense whatsoever. Guys like Artemi Panarin, who is on a Hart caliber pace this season, Mika Zibanejad, who was a fantastic overall player this season with 40+ goals, Chris Kreider and Ryan Strome, they all tied each other in points for this Rangers team in this series with 2 points apiece, versus the Carolina Hurricanes with so many weapons on that offense, really contributing, showing that their big guys can step up in these big games, including the likes of Sebastian Aho, who had 8 points in these 3 games, including 3 goals, one of those goals being last night in a flashy fashion, might I add. And then Andrei Svechnikov, the 20-year-old Russian winger phenom, I might add, was looking amazing, had a hat trick in the second game in the series, really shook up Henrik Lundqvist, making him give up some bad goals, might I add, which led to Igor Shesterkin, the rookie phenom for the Rangers, to start in Game 3, in which he played well. It's just the Rangers didn't bail him out in any which way. So it's unfortunate, but look, the Carolina Hurricanes were just the better team. And now, look, does Jesper Fast, the Rangers forward, getting laid out by former defenseman from the Rangers, might add, Brady Shea, and that early in that first game changed things? I think it does, but I don't know if it's drastic. You know, Shea laid out Fast, which led him to be out the entirety of this series. Now, it's uncertain to see how much of an effect that really had on the team, but I will just say that Fast, of course, was a key contributor in that top 6, being along the likes of Ryan Strome and Artemi Panarin for the majority of the season. So Rangers head coach David Quinn constantly changing that lineup because of the fact that they were missing one of their top 6 players, I think led into things. And if there's anything I know about this head coach, is that every single time the Rangers are struggling and he's trying to make things work by juggling these lines, good things just don't happen, unfortunately. And that was evident in this series. They couldn't find any structure whatsoever in this offense, and it showed big time. So it is unfortunate, but that just is the reality of this situation for the Rangers. They couldn't get anything going offensively. Their big guys like Artemi Panarin and Mika Zibanejad especially did not step up when they needed him to, versus Carolina Hurricanes, who had their big names step up, and even new acquisitions, whether it be Vinny Trocheck looked solid in the series, who they acquired, of course, from the Florida Panthers at the trade deadline. You had Sami Vatanen, who hadn't played a game with Carolina Hurricanes yet, acquired from the New Jersey Devils at the deadline, had 3 points, was 3rd in the team in scoring in the series, looking strong, especially on the power play. And Brady Shea looked pretty solid too. So look, the new guys are stepping up for them, and just wait till Dougie Hamilton and Brett Pesce are back. Then that team just gets that much better. I fully expect the Carolina Hurricanes to have a deep playoff run this year. I really think that they have it in them, especially given all the experience they had. They had a deep playoff run last year doing the Storm Surge, the bunch of jerks type movement, and they definitely deserve to win this series. And yes, I am upset as a Rangers fan, but this really wasn't all that surprising. They just couldn't click. You had some guys that weren't playing fully healthy, including Tony DeAngelo. I'm very interested to see if an injury report will come out on him, because he looked like he was not himself at all this series, as did a lot of other players, showing that inexperience and that youth on the team. Having 11 guys for the Rangers playing in their first actual playoff game, that's telling. The Rangers weren't supposed to have a deep run in the playoffs this year. They weren't even supposed to really make the playoffs. So the fact that they even made the qualifying round was a blessing. But trust me, Ranger fans, this is only the beginning for them. I can tell you that much. I've seen the Rangers lose in more playoff games than I can even tell you, to not get too butthurt about this one. Because, one, I'm happy that it's the Carolina Hurricanes and no other team, because I have no problem rooting for them going into this year's playoffs, and I definitely will. They're such a fun team to watch, so dynamic. And between Peter Mrazek and James Reimer, they really stood on their head in this series, making the saves when they needed. And overall, as long as they continue to do that, then good things are going to happen for Carolina, not just with the goaltending, but their overall team defense. And I think they will have a deep run, so I will be rooting for them along with a couple other teams in this year's playoffs, because they are just such a fun team to watch. But Rangers fans, this is only the beginning. We are still in this rebuild/retool, and you can really expect the Rangers to have a very good draft this year. August 10th is when the draft lottery, the second draft lottery, is going to happen this year, and the Rangers will have a chance at Alexei Lafreniere, that first overall pick, at 12.5% chance. They were the first team to be eliminated in the qualifying round. I'm not sure it gives them much of an upper edge. It might do it mentality-wise, I'm not sure. But regardless, the Rangers are in very good hands. They have a promising future with their goaltending and their overall team. And look, Kaapo Kakko looked amazing in this series. I know he had no points, but he definitely looks like the best winner for the Rangers, might I add. And while some other guys in that youth, even including Adam Fox, did struggle in this series, I'm not worried at all. This is only the beginning, guys. Don't get too upset. Carolina Hurricanes dominated the Rangers all series long. They gave them they had no chance to even breathe. They couldn't focus at all on that overall offense. They were barely gaining in the offensive zone, and when they were, they couldn't get any structure. And on the grade A chances they did have every now and then, they were shooting it right in the glove of whether it be Mrazek or Reimer. So they really just handed it to them in this series, truly. And the Carolina Hurricanes definitely deserved to win this series. They were just the better team, no question about it. They outscored the Rangers 11-4 in this series, just showing you who had the better offense for sure. But I think that's really going to conclude this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hurricanes fans, I'm happy for you guys. I hope you have a deep playoff run. Who do you think is going to play in that first playoff round against you guys? Because you will be playing whoever is the third seed coming out of that conference final, Eastern Conference, I should say, round robin, whether it be the Tampa Bay Lightning, Boston Bruins, Philadelphia Flyers, or Washington Capitals. Should be interesting to see who matches up against them as that third seed. But then when it comes to the New York Rangers, of course, the draft is really around the corner, and that lottery is only a couple days away. You have to be excited. So let me know in the comments below what you think about both teams. If you're a fan of either one of them, are you happy or are you sad for the Rangers? Do you think they'll win the first overall pick? Are you excited about it? And Hurricanes fans, you gotta be excited about this. So make sure to let me know all that in the comments. And if you've seen my previous videos, if you haven't, make sure to check them out. I'll have them right down here below. I think you'll enjoy them if you like this one. And thank you all again, guys. I really appreciate it. Hit like and subscribe if you like this kind of hockey content, and I'll be back in a day or two.